Hello, my name is Vince Miliante. I am the Senior Director for Financial Planning and Analysis at Lyric Opera of Chicago. Lyric Opera is the second largest opera house in the United States with an annual budget of just under $80 million and total performances of about 90 per year, including all operas and musical events. My primary responsibility at Lyric is to work with the company to plan their annual budget, and then to monitor the performance of that budget against actual spending throughout the year to ensure that we are staying within the boundaries of the budget that we have set so that we're not overspending and spending beyond our capabilities.
Hello, my name is Janelle Ray. I am a freshman at Illinois College, and I want to ask Mr. Miliante, how do you keep track of all the expenses of the Lyric Opera of Chicago, and what is the best way for me to keep track of my expenses?
That's an excellent question, Janelle. Lyric uses a very sophisticated budget planning software that helps us plan our budget and then track our expenses against that budget. And it's pretty common for larger organizations to use software that has been developed specifically for that purpose. For personal expenses, I think that the best way to track your budget is to use a simple spreadsheet. You may be comfortable using Microsoft Excel, or you can download any number of the free apps that are available for your cell phone that help you plan your budget, track your expenses, and then compare yourself against the budget. What I would say is there are three key takeaways when planning your budget. First and foremost, you want to plan a budget. And this involves categorizing all of your expenses into, and this is just an example for demonstration purposes, but into categories such as this. And then outline what you think those costs are for any given month. The second thing you want to do is to actually record your expenses as they occur throughout the month. Having a budget plan, but then never actually comparing it against your expenses doesn't do you a whole lot of good if you don't know how you're actually spending against that budget. So develop a routine where you are perhaps weekly loading all of the expenses that you incur for that week into your budget plan. And then third, you want to routinely compare how you're spending against your budget. The more frequently you compare your actual spending to your budget allows you more time to make adjustments throughout the month to either reduce your spending in a particular category, or you may find that you have some additional dollars that you can spend on any of the items here that may be of interest to you for that particular month.
Hi, Mr. Miliante. My name is Christy Bright, and I am a junior at Gettysburg College. I have two questions for you. First question, I want to know how do I decide the amount of money I should save and how much I can spend each month?
That's a great question, Christy. And when planning a budget, it's always a good idea to have an amount in there for savings as a reduction to your overall income. Like you're setting aside some amount for rent. It's a reduction to how much you can spend in a given month. And a good rule of thumb is to have savings that are equal to about 3 months worth of your expenses.
Second question, if a young person comes into or inherits a large sum of money, what's one of the best things you think they should invest in?
That's a really great question and a really difficult one to answer, as the answer is going to vary person by person. What I would say is that if you have any debt, high interest rate debt, to the extent that you can pay off that debt with this inheritance would be a really good opportunity to do so. Second, think about, if this is an inheritance, think about how that came to you. That inheritance is someone's legacy, and now it's passed on to you, and you have an opportunity to use that to build your own legacy. So I would advise you to resist the temptations to use that inheritance to purchase something that you otherwise could not afford to purchase, and instead hold on to that for something that is truly meaningful and lives up to the legacy of the person who gave you that inheritance.